law basically did is it stated for possession of 1 ounce or less of marijuana, it was subject to a $100 fine rather than a criminal offense. What the law also did was it allowed cities and towns through a bylaw to create additional fines up to $300 for public use or consumption of marijuana. And that is what this bylaw proposed bylaw is attempting to accomplish. You would need, in my opinion, the non-criminal disposition part of it because the town does have a non-criminal disposition bylaw which allows it to enforce its fines. But it's not used. But essentially, what this bylaw does is it allows the town to enforce an additional fine for the public use of marijuana regardless of the amount. It doesn't change the fact that use of or possession of more than 1 ounce is still a criminal offense. It simply allows to fine an additional amount for the public use of marijuana.
Mr. Moderator?
Mr. Putnam.
In response to that, sir, the amount was not addressed in this particular article. The point of the article was to have a fine for non-criminal possession, which recognizes that this is a non-criminal offense, which is a change from the federal perspective, not the state one. I recognize what was passed. My opposition is because of the federal philosophy of stating that this is a ban and illegal substance. We are, in effect, dumbing down the federal law with what our state has done, and if we choose to go along with our state, then we do support the same concept of saying, well, a white lie is okay, but a big lie isn't.
Mr. Klein.
Through the moderator, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with you. I'm saying that this bylaw does not supersede or replace any existing federal or state criminal laws. It's simply the change in the law allows towns through a bylaw to create an additional fine for public use of marijuana. It does not replace any existing criminal laws either federal or state.
Mr. Putnam.
My changing the wording does not change anything on the fines. If you look at how I changed it. It has nothing to do with the fines. It has to do with the fact that the phrasing is for the public use, non-criminal versus criminal. You can still fine even though it is a criminal, the way it is phrased with try to write this out. I believe town council would agree with me.
In my opinion, if you take out the non-criminal disposition part, it prevents the town from being able to enforce the fines under this bylaw. This does not replace again any criminal issue. It's simply a civil fine for public use of marijuana. You need that language to be able to enforce this bylaw.
I would appreciate town council's opinion on that, and if I disagree with it.
Could you repeat that, Mr. Putnam?
I would appreciate town council's interpretation of that. I believe I disagree with the last statement that it needs the non-criminal to have the fine. Unless there's something beyond the wording that is in the actual article, it does not by removing those words.
Mr. Klein.
Darren Klein to the moderator. Again, the state law prevents you from fining for possession of 1 ounce or less of more than $100 unless you create a bylaw that deals with, that you create a bylaw that allows you to fine up to $300 for public use. You can't enforce that fine under the state law. You have to enforce it under the town's bylaws and the non-criminal disposition bylaws. In my opinion, that language is necessary to enforce the fines that are proposed in this bylaw.
Thank you. I do not withdraw. I still put it in there. I believe I'm correct.
Mr. Rowe.
When did the police chief think of this?
Mr. Rowe has asked that the police chief weigh in on the situation. Chief Nolan.
Thank you, Mr. Rowe, Mr. Moderator. The police department is well aware of the overwhelming mandate that was very obvious as a result of last year's vote on the decriminalization of 1 ounce or less of marijuana. However, our Board of Selectmen has opted to give us another tool to employ in the enforcement of the use of cannabis or marijuana and its related substances. Right now, the options available to the police department are very limited by the revisions to the state statute. This gives us another tool to use. It sends a stronger message to those who would use this in public that the town of North Reading has zero tolerance or a stronger non-tolerance for public displays of smoking marijuana.
On the motion to amend, Mr. O'Leary. Motion to amend, the Board of Selectmen unanimously opposes it. We would say vote down the motion to amend. I think that it actually weakens what we're trying to do here. It sends a different message, and I respect Mr. Cummings' opinion, but we're very specific as to increasing the fine here locally, sending a message that it's not going to be tolerated, and giving our police department the necessary tools to enforce it. So we would recommend that you vote the amendment down. Ma'am.
Motion to move to the question, please.
All those in favor of moving to the question, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Before we vote on the amendment, just a point of information, I believe that this bylaw, when it's passed, amended or unamended, would then go to the Attorney General's office, who would then opine as to whether or not the bylaw, the new bylaw, was in conflict with state or federal law. If so, it would return to the town and would come back to town meeting. So any conflict in law would be addressed at that level. So town meeting needs to take the first action. So that's just a point of information. We're now voting on the amendment. Just on the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Opposed? No. The amendment fails. Now we're on to the main motion. Mr. Kirby, on the main motion?
On the main article.
Yes, on the main, yes.
Mr. Moderator, I'd appreciate if the town council could opine on the issue, the concern of the Finance Committee with respect to whether or not the terms any place accessible to the public could ever be construed to be private property. And also to clarify if my understanding is correct that this bylaw is not, in the absence of this bylaw, the police force would still be able to assess fines up to the $100 limit associated with under state law, and that this is merely for the purpose of being able to increase the fines from $100 to $300.
Mr. Klein.
Darren Klein, to the moderator. Starting with your second question, yes, without this bylaw, the only thing that the police department could do for possession of 1 ounce or less of marijuana would be the $100 fine. This would allow, again, for the additional fine for the public use of, the public use of marijuana. As to your second question, no, private property is not accessible to the public. So, in my opinion, the language in the proposed bylaw is clear, and it would not include private property.
Mr. Simons.
Chief Nolan, could you compare this as proposed to current local rules about, for example, the fines on public drinking? What are the fines for that? How frequently are they used? How do you view that as a tool of law enforcement? How would you compare the severity of using a tool like this with tools about public drinking?
Chief Nolan.
I hate to ask you, sir, but I was trying to process some other information. Could you repeat that question?
Could you compare this local ordinance as proposed to what is currently on the books in North Reading regarding fines and for
bylaw in front of me, but I think, and again, this is all the top of my head, one major difference between those two bylaws is the right to arrest. And I believe, and without looking at it, there is a right to arrest on public drinking. There is no right to arrest with this particular statute bylaw being proposed here. With regards to the fine, I don't have the information regarding the public drinking fine, but I know this is the maximum. The proposed bylaw before us tonight is fining to the maximum allowed by the state for this particular bylaw violation. As far as being a useful tool, it does become one more option that the police department has to employ. How often would it happen? Like public drinking, it doesn't happen that often. So the police department, when it comes to drinking, usually opts for more serious offenses that are found in the criminal statutes. Here, where the criminal statute has been modified to decriminalize 1 ounce or less, this will give us another tool to employ in managing potential problems with this. We don't see a major problem. I believe since the law was decriminalized, marijuana was decriminalized, the 1 ounce or less, I believe we only had 2 instances where we were forced to stay law.
Mr. Webb.
I do have one question on something that confuses me under enforcement. It relates to the decriminalization of possession of 1 ounce or less, but yet under enforcement, it says, this bylaw may be enforced through any lawful means of law and in equity, including but not limited to enforcement by criminal indictment or complaint. So if it's decriminalized, I'm confused as to how someone could be indicted under this amendment.
Mr. Klein.
Darren Klein to the moderator. Again, if somebody was caught, even in public, with possession of more than 1 ounce, obviously you could be indicted for that. So I mean, that's one reason that section is written properly.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. I'll do a count. Sorry. Now you gotta show your hand. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Zardino. Ms. Cloud. Mr. John.
33, Mr. Moderator, 33.